All right, so here we want to find the domain of f. Okay, first things first, we know it has to be uh, not equal to 0 in the denominator, but we have to have greater than or equal to 0 here. So what we're going to do, instead of doing 5x plus 2 greater than or equal to 0, we're saying it has to be greater than 0 because it can't be equal to 0 or we divide by 0 and that's not possible. But we can say it has to be greater than that and then anything under there should work. So when we do that, if we do that, we'll have to subtract 2 from both sides. So we get 5x is greater than negative 2, and so x is greater than a negative 2 fifths if we divide both sides by 5. Okay, so our domain then is going to be what? Well, it's going to be from a negative 2 fifths up to infinity, and that would be how we could answer that one. And again, if we wanted a fancy way, we could say x such that x is greater than a negative 2 fifths, and that would be another way we could do that one. All right, so graph the function and give its domain in interval notation. Compare the graph to y equals square root of x. Well, y equals square root of x, we already have done that one. That one we put here at 1, it was 1. At 4, it was 2. At 9, it was 3. At 16, it was, well, that's not 3, that's 4. I better erase that one. Need to get a better graph here. So let's see. At 9, it was 3, and at 16, it was 4. So that was kind of the graph of the square root of x. Now we're given this. Now, if we remember how this works, it's really going to be x minus h is what we're looking at. And so then we're going to basically say, well, what did we plug in here? We plugged in plus 4. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the right 4. So we're going to go right 4, and we're basically start over our whole thing. So this is our new 0. And if we think about that, we could just plot points. If we plug in x is 4, then we're going to get 0. Then if we plug in, if we plug in 5, we'll get 1. And so, 5, we're going to get 1. And then if we plug in, let's see what's the next biggest one, then we'll have to plug in 8. That will give us 4, which will be 2. So then that will be a 2. And so basically, we're going to come up and we're going to be down here. And so that's going to be square root of x minus 4. So what has happened? Well, we've shifted everything to the right 4. So that's what happened here. So we've shifted right 4 units, everything. And our domain then, therefore, is going to be what? Well, it's going to be, well, that's not a squiggly line there. It's going to be x such that x is going to be greater than or equal to 4. Or we could say, from 4 to infinity or whatever we want. I guess it wants it in interval notation, so I guess this time they say this is kind of how they want it. So it's going to be from 4 to positive infinity. Okay. And so that's what we're going to look at here. So knowing how things move based on this, and so that means if we would have had here instead x plus 4 the square root, then we would have plugged in the h is equal to a negative 4, and that means we're going to shift 4 units to the left, and so that would have been over here, and it would have gone up like that, and so it would have been, shifted left 4 units. All right, let's stop here, and we'll come back for some more.